Good morning. Welcome to Saturday's Early Morning Intuitive Guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to start your day off well, and maybe give you something to think about and ponder and talk about with others. Good card today. Comes from the Power of Surrender deck, so we'll get to that in a bit. We'll give it a minute here for people to pop on. Now, there's our first person. Welcome. Abigail, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Glad you are here. And today we're actually supposed to hit 60 degrees here. Isn't this mid-November? Oi. So, it looks like someone else has popped on. Good morning. Your name isn't rolling, but I'm glad you're here. Good morning, good morning. So, everybody's starting to roll in. That is good. Let's see. What else do I have to tell you? Good morning, Ruth Ann. Glad you're here. Welcome. Thank you for the heart. Appreciate it. Yeah, I am sore today. We did the first day of the rummage sale yesterday and had a little over $1,000 in sales. So we moved some stuff. There were two separate people who, because it's the last sale of the year, so we knocked 10% off. If you bought in bulk, we knocked 10% off. An additional 10% to the half off that we typically do. And there were two people who, I think the one man had 14 boxes. Good morning, Jo Neal. Glad you are here. Welcome. And the woman had not that many, but significant number of boxes. So we went through boxes and wrapping paper big time, but it was a very good sale. And typically, there's a burst and then a lull, and then a burst and then a lull. This was burst all the way through to 2:30. We didn't have a break where there was nobody there. So, yeah, it was wild. So we're there again today. So any of you Fox Vallians who want to check us out, you can find it with the ad on my personal page. Good morning, Gwen. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. So, as I said, today's card is from the Power of Surrender deck by Judith Orloff. Subtitle is Transform Your Life by Letting Go. So, Judith Orloff and Tosha Silver are cut from the same divine cloth, I think. But let us begin with a little bit of tapping and some breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Let your shoulders drop. In through the nose, out through the mouth, settling into right here, right now. In through the nose, out through the mouth, pushing your roots deeper and deeper into Mother Earth. In through the nose, reaching for the heavens, and exhale. Awesome. Hopefully feeling a little more grounded, a little more settled. And today's card, I think, is a good card for all of us to heed, and most of us don't heed it. So, surrender comparisons to other people. Good morning, Beth. Glad you are here. Welcome. Surrender comparisons to other people. And I'll read the card in a moment, but I want you to think about that. What do we do when we compare ourselves to others? We always compare our weaknesses to their strengths. We tend not to look at the whole package of ourselves and the whole package of another person. And again, if we expand ourselves beyond our limited human thinking, we're all part of one anyway. So why would we compare one part of an entity to another part of an entity? Good morning, Bonnie. Haven't seen you in a while. Glad you're here. Thank you for the sunrise. Very pretty. Right here, still dark. Very dark. So, yeah. So when we do the comparisons with other people, we set ourselves up to feel bad. Because again, we're picking the strengths of someone else compared to the weaknesses of ourselves, and then we feel bad. Or conversely, we compare someone else's weaknesses to our strengths, and then we feel like all that in a bag of chips, right? Neither one of those gets us too far down the evolutionary path in terms of healthy thought process. So, Let me read this. The first sentence, if someone could put the first sentence in our feed, that would be great. Keep your eyes trained on yourself. Keep your eyes trained on yourself. Why? Because that's the only person we can change. It's the only person we can change. And when we find ourselves indulging too much in how she oughta or he oughta or whatever, pay attention, because there's probably something you're ignoring in yourself. When we start doing the foray into other people's faults, we're typically not looking at ourselves. Again, I love the AA thing. If I'm pointing my finger at you, there's a whole bunch pointing back at me. Look within. Look within. So keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your own strengths, attractiveness, and power. Because again, thank you, Abigail. I appreciate that. Because that's the only place where change can occur. And also in the present moment. Keep your eyes trained on yourself in the present moment. Because the present moment is the only moment we can change. The past is done. The future isn't here yet. All we can influence is right here, right now. The present moment. So, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Surrender comparisons with other people. What do you notice about yourself with regard to that tendency to do the comparison thing? I've noticed that as I've gotten older, I've gotten less willing to go there. Less willing to compare myself to other people. My path is my path, and nobody else is walking my path. There may be people walking their paths beside me, but they're not walking my path. And from within my own perspective, it's different. So there might be, let's say there's an event. I'm going to make something up. A car accident. And there's 2 people in one car and 3 people in another. That's 5 people who've experienced the accident. They're still all experiencing it through their own filters. And therefore can have a very different experience with that accident. And again, I'm going to put accident in quotes because I don't think there's any real accidents. I think things unfold as they're meant to. We influence, but in those things, good, bad, indifferent, however we define them, because that's the most important piece. What do I make out of what happened? It's all in the unfolding. It's all in the unfolding. And we've been working on that, haven't we? Ooh, so that reminds me. Let's go back to our invoking divine right timing and divine right order. Because these 4 statements are actually, they can be salve, balm for that tendency to compare to others. So, shall we do them together? First one is, today the divine will show me the way. I am open to all signs and messages. The perfect steps are already picked, and I am guided to them. Moving through the world, open to constant help, gets easier and easier with practice. How does that feel? When you add that in, juxtaposed with that tendency to compare to others, how does that feel? For me, it moves me away from that tendency. It lays out the path that this is unfolding the way it's meant to unfold. I just need to get out of the way, because I think we can, with our doubts and our fears and our yeah buts and what ifs, we can kind of put the brakes on the divine unfolding. We get in the way of the process. So, to take some time today to practice being in the flow of the divine unfolding and letting go of that surrender the comparisons. Let them go. They're not serving you. They're not serving you. You have everything within you that you need to be the best you can be. And I remember someone saying, I don't remember who it was, might have been an actress, who said, it was a journalist. And she said, I was trying so hard to be the best Barbara Walters that I wasn't being the best me. And when she made that shift, her own career took off. We can only be the best us. That's our best approach to life. That's our best approach to walking our divine path in life. Be the best you. So today, during the course of the day, maybe think about that. Am I being my best me right here, right now? Am I being my best me? And what might I need to shift if I discover that I'm not? It might be a thought, might be a behavior. You'll know. You'll know. Yes, you have everything within you that you need. Everything. And we've had such a penchant for looking outside ourselves, for gurus and experts and whatever. It's all in here. Take the time to go within. And again, we are approaching winter, the perfect time for going within and discerning and having some quiet time and some stillness. And that doesn't mean you necessarily have to sit around. You can be doing meditation as you're walking. Good morning, Maureen. Glad you're here. Those of you who love hiking, you can do meditative hiking. Your mind just goes anyway, doesn't it? You're in your present moment doing what you're doing. Healing is occurring. Healing is occurring. Set intentions for your hikes. Set intentions for your walks. Set intentions for your time in nature. Today I am freeing myself up from self-judgment. Today I am stepping into marveling at what my body is capable of doing. Today I am making an intention. That's a lovely practice to get into. So that is our card for today. Surrender comparisons to other people. Let me read our favorite line. Keep your eyes trained on yourself. Keep your eyes trained on yourself. So have an awesome day, my practical rebels. I will give you a rummage update tomorrow, let you know how that went. I was so excited yesterday with all of that stuff walking out the door. Oh my goodness. And of course we filled in all the spaces because we still have boxes of stuff left. But yeah, so if you're in the Appleton area, pop in and see us. It's on Wisconsin Avenue, right by the corner of Badger and Wisconsin. So yeah. All right. Have an awesome day. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are, including going within, letting go of comparisons to others, and having an awesome day. Bye-bye.